Then we'll talk. Okay, so where are we? We are in a place that is quite sacred to the Tenno, and sacred in the sense of horrifying. This is a place that, we had to bring to life with the new war, and perhaps, players who have finished the Angels of the Zariman will know a little bit more about this place. And this is, of course, the Zariman, and let's just go through, Meg. Why don't we take a look?
Walk through. I just moved in. Please don't judge my decorations.
It's too late.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, so if you don't know, the Zariman is a spot that is critical to a lot of the story and the lore of our characters. And the Duviri Paradox, in many ways, if you've played the New War, seems to orient from here in some way. And this is a beautiful colonist ship that, had its very terrible accident. But it's the home to many characters now. And I think the Duviri Paradox will kick off with you meeting some people, hopefully, that you'll know and love.
My maggot opened the door.
Go on in, Meg.
I'm so sorry. My pets are so annoying.
Go on in.
So this is the first time this door is officially going to be open for people.
Yes.
Thanks to the maggot.
Thanks to the maggot. All you needed was a maggot. It's true.
Yeah. Go on in.
Let's see what happens next.
So that is Akrithis. She is a character that will be very important to your progress in Duviri. She's quite the curious soul, and the Duviri Paradox is going to be something you can access through your Norma Zone, or you can just do it through the star chart. We're just doing it the flavor way because, doors are important to go through.
Doors are very
We're doing something here that no other game does. You turn to the right.
Oh, yeah? The mirror?
A mirror!
Wow.
Wow, look at us!
Wow.
Real-time reflections.
Wow. Mirrors, very exciting. That is actually the biggest tech advancement in Duviri Paradox is mirrors.
It was a hurdle.
But Akrithis will be a character you'll interact with a lot, and she will be giving you a lot of information about Duviri for the lore hounds and some items as well. But we won't go too much into that today. Why don't we actually just go into Duviri?
I think we should.
Can't wait.
Welcome to the Duviri Paradox. This is a open world that lives in its own part of Warframe, but of course it will connect. And what you'll find is you are playing through the moods of Dominus Thrax. He is this sort of king, emperor, overlord figure for Duviri. And every 2 hours his mood changes. Not
He's in
the
a joy spiral right now.
Yeah, right now he's in a
Feeling
joy spiral. So we're going to play through the Duviri experience. And when Duviri launches, of course, you'll be playing the quest. And then once you're done the quest, you'll get to this screen. And there's 3 ways to play Duviri. One is the circuit, which is endless Warframe only mode. This is a mode that will take you through different, it'll make sense once we're done doing the normal playthrough. But this is for people that just really want to play the Warframe mode, get some rewards that connect to the bigger picture of Warframe, which we'll talk more about after. But that's all going to be done in the circuit. Then there's the lone story. This is for people that maybe don't want to do things like fishing or our version of conservation, which you'll see. But this is for people that just want to go through the joy spiral to get their daily reward. They won't be match-made. This is really for matchmaking. It's for people that don't want to matchmake with someone that's going to go off and, smell the roses, so to speak, do side activities, maybe play a game of Comey. Those types of things wouldn't spawn here. This is for people that are solely in that, get her done state of mind. And then, of course, the Duviri experience, which is how we intend the day to perhaps unfold, where someone can be match-made and experience all Duviri has to offer. You can play side activities, you can explore the open world, and you can spend your time being distracted, really, and getting yourself geared up for perhaps the boss fight at the end.
Yeah, so we call it an open world, but it is quite different to our other open worlds.
Yes.
For starters, the structures of those are generally more like you go in and just can do random stuff in here. This is a little more guided. There's like a story that you go in that gets generated every time you go and play it. It changes with the moods. It changes. Honestly, for us, it's almost a surprise. We were surprised literally half an hour before the stream. Like, oh, look at that. That's what we're going to have for the demo.
Yeah,
Because we didn't know.
Yeah, so we're just going to jump on in and take a look at the Duviri experience. And I want to make sure that players understand the mood timers is for flavor and diversity. We're not locking you out of something that you can only do in anger for like a daily reward. This is flavor, emotion, mood, the world. So we're going to hop into joy.
And before we do, speaking of the moods, Eric, I know the sound is actually different for each of the moods as well.
Absolutely. The sound team's done an incredible job in capturing the different emotions and the soundscapes as you enter. We've got different music for different moods, different audio ambience for different moods, so everything really feels different every time you go into another mood. So yeah, we're really excited about it.
Yeah, and each, you'll meet characters. Today we're going to do just us narrating, but you will meet characters that hopefully you'll fall in love with as well. So I know I have. So let's hop into the Duviri experience, and I'll walk you through the gameplay that we're about to do together. Megan, I'll try not to die. Oh, did we do God mode?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
We're driving this bus.
Yeah.
Left or right? I don't quite know.
Oh, so this open world doesn't have a town. This open world has a sanctuary starting point, which is where you determine how you're going to play the Duviri Paradox that game. This is very different, Tenno. This is unlike any other open world, truly, but it is like a fresh wrap on Warframe that you know and love. Our drifter is safe here in this cave of Duviri, and as we walk through, we're going to be presented with our sort of roguelite loadout options for our daily mood. So we're going to play the Joy Spiral, and Megan and I are going to have to decide our loadouts. So Megan, as you can see, has 5 Warframes to choose from. One of them is Hildred Prime, which we did not plan. So Megan has all her mods if she wants them.
Yeah, it's
I just not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Don't say it anymore.
it's important to know that my current character, I'm maxed out in what I'm about to show you. We have Teshin, of course. Teshin's cave is a pivotal person in the story. And then we have our drifter Intrinsics.
Yeah, so we are really inspired by the roguelite ideas, and for us in Warframe, we thought we could take what we know about intrinsics, but actually turn them into persistent progression in the Duviri context. So Megan has 5 Warframes to pick from, but if you're just starting out in Duviri, you'll have 3 to pick from, and then as you're progressing, you can widen and expand what the Void will give you to choose from by using Drifter Intrinsics. So this is a way to persistently progress in all things Duviri, give yourself more survivability, give yourself more riding tools, give yourself more combat basis, and the biggest one really is opportunity. So if you go back over to this one, this is where the roguelite angle comes live. And of course, this is where we'll talk a little bit about, combat and stuff once we go out there.
Decrease and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main idea was to how could we keep the experience fresh every time, and we were leaning really a lot on those roguelike elements. You guys saw in the demo for TennoCon, we showed the decrease there, different upgrades that you could select. So this over here, the intrinsics are like the meta progression that you can do across runs, and the decrease are the progression you can do within one run.
Yeah, so Megan, if you want to go out and take a look at, one of the biggest intrinsic schools is, of course, riding. So let's take a look at your loyal cave. This is something that allows the drifter to move on Duviri very quickly, traverse. There's a couple tricks up the cave sleeve. So let's take a look at your...
Do a little classic customization. See what we like.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I like the Syakis one.
So do I. Yeah. I'm a fan of the...
Truly a metal horse.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I want a
Death
nightmare. I want a death horse.
The horns.
The horns are so good. No, you got to do the. So the chamfrons are coming. These are all going to be customizations available for any inclined drifter would like to customize their horse. I'm sure.
My favorite's this one because it looks like a reindeer.
Do it. Santa time. Let's go. Oh wow.
We got tails.
Oh, the tails.
Oh, short tail.
Wow.
There's some that are gigantic. I think
Well,
the
big
Itigo
old-
one.
Yeah, there's the Itiga one. Yeah. And then of course detail. You can name your cave. This is unlocked through intrinsics as well. So
Guys, what are we naming my horse?
Oh.
On the spot.
On the spot, chat. What do you got for?
I think that's got to be the
Yeah,
thing.
that's a chat thing.
That's a chat thing?
That's a chat thing.
First case naming ever publicly. What do we got?
Messi, the party of
Jose.
Jose Ron.
Frankie.
Oh,
Roach.
Horsey. Roach. Oh. You might have to do Roach.
Wasn't that your first
Yeah.
real name?
It's got to be Roach.
Roach it shall
Bojack,
be.
I say.
Yeah. And then
Of course.
Yeah.
Color.
Oh. Yep.
You want a dark
Electric.
horse? You got it.
Dark horse.
And and you change
Oh my God,
the
that's so-
attachments.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, like the headgear really takes the whole edgelord vibe right off. So.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah. What's the issue, Gary? Sorry, Roach. Roach has won.
Roach looks great. So that is my horse for right now.
Yeah, so I want you guys to picture Duviri as every time you start, you're going to be in this sanctuary with Teshin, and you're going to be planning your loadout for your adventure that awaits you. So every time a new spiral rolls in, you'll be able to pick new gear. So we're in the joy spiral, so we'll be picking from this gear for that joy spiral. You know, you can customize your drifter, because this is the Duviri paradox. The drifter is here, and they're playing things out perhaps with, you know, as the quest will resolve with help from the other side. And then we do have some expansion plans here. Megan just walked past a little gardening area that will be coming post-release. But because we're in the Drifter's elements, the Drifter is able to do something that players have requested for a long time, which is Drifter Melee. And they're going to be able to pick from a variety of stances. These stances will be ways, you'll unlock these with progression. So you'll start off with the sun and moon that you get from the quest, and then you'll be able to earn the rest of your melee stances. So Megan's gonna go with a two.
I'm a big hammer kind of
Big
gal.
hammer. So, you know, you can smack the dummy a little if you want.
Show that dummy.
Idiot. What an
Smack
idiot.
it.
He has the worst job in Warframe.
What a dummy.
Poor dummy. And now we get to pick our loadouts. So this is sort of that. And there will be, you know, I'm not gonna.
The Megan colors.
Oh,
You can see
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
What can I say, you know?
Yeah. Why don't we hover over that mysterious figure on the right there?
Oh,
I'd be
this-
curious
this
what it says.
individual?
An ally from an unknown time and place. Duviri is quite strange. I don't know. Maybe we should let the players.
You know, we'll let them stew on that one a little bit. You know who I'd love to play, though?
Fate today blessed us.
Fate has blessed us. This is, like you said, every time, like, this round is these Warframes, and then it kind of resets, and as well, as you can tell, some of these are my very specific Warframes.
Yes.
But if I do not own a Warframe, it will also let me borrow that Warframe for this session if I want to try it out.
Yeah, so we are going to, because we're going to say that Duviri is essentially transient. The Drifter, the Void, the Loop, the Spiral, all of these things mean that the choices you make affect that gameplay session only. It's a run you're doing. So you don't need to, if you don't own something, we will offer you loaners, we'll offer you loaner mods. But if you have gear, and say I have my Valkyr Prime, for instance, you know, I have several Umbra Former in her, I get that version of her. So that will be what I choose. Megan, you're going to pick Hildred. I can't imagine you
I
wouldn't.
have to pick him.
And then your weapons appear, and then you can pick the next part of your loadout.
And because I am max strength, my Drifter Intrinsic, I have more options for my weapons. You unlock them as you continue through your Drifter Intrinsic. You get more options of the Warframes as well, and work your way up from there. I'm just gonna see what speaks to me.
You know?
Load up.
Solid choice.
I love that it helps to do the demo the fact that they have your colors, so that
Yeah,
kind of explains.
yeah.
They
players
know
don't
exactly that I own that one. That one is mine.
And before we go out, I want to explain the decree system. And this is sort of the core pillar of this open world expansion, and the fact, like I said, that you're doing a run. So because Megan and I are max rank characters, we start in Teshin's Cave with a decree to choose. And this is when we're going to start building our run loadout. So Megan, if you hit Q, let's take a look at some of your options. So Megan gets to pick her first decree, which is going to be her first choice for her build. And as we play and do the daily adventure, we're going to get more of these. So by the end, we could have up to 10, 15, just crazy upgrades that only exist for that session. So for instance, taking damage, regenerate 15 energy per second, deal 30% damage to enemies affected by freeze status, gain 15% damage for every enemy affected by a status. I would just go Fearsome Bonanza while you can.
Why not?
Yeah.
Start off strong.
Yeah, and I'll pick mine as well, just because you guys can't see my screen. Oh, I got Vicious Barb. Critical damage is doubled, so they're kind of all over the place, and
You got a rare.
I did get a rare. All right, out we go. All right. Today's adventure that we're playing is the Harbinger of Joy.
Ask the Mexican guy for
That's all right, I don't know. So we are out in the open world of Duviri. We are in the Joy Spiral, which, you know, for the art team, for the sound team, you need to make it a happy place.
Yes, the knock is quite high.
Yes.
Yeah, if you guys remember from the Tenocon demo, in that one, like at the end, the sky goes red and there's meteors coming from. So that's anger.
Yeah,
and you
no
can put
angry
that in
face
contrast.
in the sky here. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it-
is.
If you contrast that with joy, basically every one of the moods has different soundscape, different visuals, enemies change abilities. There's it's important to us that it just feels different whenever you're playing one of those. And that's really like, the kind of leaning on that roguelike vibe is, the world changes every 2 hours, and every time you play, it offers different warframes, some that you might have never used, but you get some loaner mods so you can pick them up and see how they feel. You get a variety of weapons, and then you get the decrease on top. So hopefully that can make it so that it feels varied every time you play.
Yes. And we'll start our adventure.
We're gonna start it. What a way to start. Get on a horse.
Let's go. So here we are going through the beautiful world that the team has created. Carrie, we had to do open world islands.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to try to pull off for us. It's good to have a flying horse at that point. Maybe,
Yes.
So, it's quite a landscape, and it's the amount of teamwork that is involved in doing this is it breaks your brain when you're actually looking at it in a big moment like this, because it's like, wow, you would have to thank just so many people per frame right now.
Yeah, right now every frame has the authors and the pixels. So we're gonna do our adventure. We're gonna do it's varying types of things, side activities, combats, and we'll just run through them right now. See what we can do.
What we're gonna look through now is basically one of the stories. Normally, if you're playing like the full experience, you could also be walking around and then you see something to the side that attracts your eye, and then you can go and do it if you want to. So it does have a vibe. But one of the things we really wanted to kind of address from other open worlds that we've done is generally on those, often you get like objectives that are really spread apart. So you're like, you have to go 600 meters that way, and it's just kind of a bore to just have to travel a ton. So in this, when it generates the dynamic stories every day, it localizes kind of your little track so that you have a story that's close by, and you can just kind of go from one thing to the other and finding things along the way. And every day we put you on different spots of the islands. The islands are really big.
Yeah.
So, we don't want you to go through the same place every time. So at different moments you go to different places and so on and so forth.
So Megan and I just finished our first objective. We get to pick our decree, so we can continue making our build for the day. Melee kills, there you go.
Killer's confidence. That's me, baby.
Yep, that's you. You're a bona fide Widowmaker.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so now we'll go to our next Harbinger of Joy story. And this is something narratively that we're trying really differently as well. We're gonna have procedural narration for this, so.
That's right.
Yeah, we didn't want to spoil too many characters and get things going. We also have to do some work to set them up, but you'll get to meet who the Harbinger of Joy is. So yeah, we can just explore beautiful Duviri.
If you watch TennoCon, you'll kind of recognize statues maybe, providing a little bit of healing if you need it while you're
Yep.
out here in Duviri Paradox.
Yeah, we don't know how much we want to, how difficult we want to make it, but we're balancing that out. But death is different here a little.
You can see here someone's holding your hand.
Yep, that's right. So we might take off the handrails. All right, let's. Our next step is combat. So let's fight some of Thrax's chosen. Now, of course, the horse does have an ability.
That is part of the intrinsics for the horse. Basically, you get like a nice little tool to engage. And then the combat for this, at least for like the drifter part, and again, is more of it's a different combat. We didn't want to just like repeat the same things that you do with a Warframe. You'll see Warframe combat in a moment, but for the drifter himself, it's more of a melee focused thing. It's smaller tighter groups. It's about getting those parries correctly. Ooh, kneecapping that poor guy. I don't know what he did to you.
Sucks to be that tall,
Yeah. There's still quite a bit to, I don't think we've shown this enemy before.
No, we haven't.
Oh, yeah. The heavy guy. Ooh, he's heavy, but he's mobile, He has,
Meg got him.
us.
Perish.
All right.
Once you kill them, you get access to the chest.
So we're done this stage. So we get to pick another decree. We're getting our builds going.
Ooh.
What will you pick?
too many.
Oh,
choices.
status effects triple damage. Let's go.
Is that the one you got?
No, I had a different one. I had the crit one. Vicious Barb. Yeah, the resource icons are placeholder, but yeah.
So many cool decrees.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah. Like you said, it's just making that power level insane by the time you've collected a dozen decrees. There's one, I gotta say it, the one where the more decrees you have, the faster your drifter goes.
Yeah.
I'm sprinting across that degree. I'm so fast. It makes me laugh. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And of course, open worlds and Warframe do benefit from lots of side activities, least of all fishing. And we wanted to kind of reinvent fishing for the Duviri paradox, so Megan is going to do the honors of maybe people that have played The War Within have a little bit of love in their heart for a certain mechanic that we thought we could turn into a pretty awesome fishing game. So let's see what you can do, Meg.
All right, not my first rodeo. Let's see how it goes. Maw fishing. What could that possibly?
Maw
It's a
fishing.
bit of a
fishing?
different take on fishing.
It's a different take on fishing.
You speared fish. How do you feel about mowing fish?
Yeah. What if you could eat the fish?
Consume the fish.
So this is actually a perfect example of, a side activity. If you really just want to do the story that Megan and I have been doing so far, this type of stuff wouldn't turn on. So you wouldn't be able to come do this. For instance, I would love to fish with Pablo, but maybe I'm in a rush that day and I don't want to matchmake with people that don't want to fish. So we have Golden Maw Duviri fishing. We're going
Full maw.
full maw here.
Full maw.
Yeah, we really wanted to try something different with this. Really happy with how it turned out. The teams worked really hard on this sort of weird fishing mini game that isn't quite spearfishing, but it's still true to the legacy of Warframe with the maw. And you have to remember, the Drifter didn't get, I'm not going to spoil too much, but the Drifter is a different character than the Tenno. So things are different for the Drifter. The Drifter never got focus schools and all those things. This is a different character, but you'll see how it all comes together as we continue our adventure. Good job, Meg. Did you
Look
get
at
it,
Pablo. He was judging me earlier.
Well, I'm
So I was able to get all the fish. Therefore, we get 2 decrees.
you get basically a
And
chance
look,
to run.
it's my favorite one.
What one?
Every day.
Footed.
Oh my god.
Oh, baby, we're moving.
Super speed.
We are moving.
You're
must have eaten
moving,
enough
okay.
turtles to
All
do
right.
it.
All right. So let's continue our journey.
And also from fishing, you get fish parts as well.
Yeah.
Resources from the fish that you do
Yeah.
maw on.
Reb also mentioned conservation is not conservation as you know it.
You'll
It's
see we
an-
have a video. So.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Yeah, we'll show that after.
Yeah, basically, we went a little crazy. It's
Yeah.
all new. Like it really,
But it
there's
all
no
connects.
mining.
There's no mining.
There's no mining.
And
That's-
there's no bounties in the truest sense. It's stories that take you through the world. So this is a better view of the open world, Carrie.
Yeah, it's a great view.
Megan
It's,
is flying around,
yeah.
and we're gonna find our way to our next, perhaps a different place in Duviri.
Oh, stuck the landing. Nice.
Wow, Meg.
What can I say? Wheels down, baby.
I love those thin little bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun to hit.
They're like almost the things that we're often forbidden from using because you need more space to fight and stuff like
Yes.
that. But it's nice to have like a little thing that connects.
All right. So Dominus Thrax as a character only has so much control over Duviri, and we're about to go to a place where your power can be helped from the other side. So welcome to the Undercroft. Let's go in, Meg.
My drifter's so fast. I'm sprinting.
The decrees apply both to the Warframe and the Drifter. Some of them are not as effective on the Drifter. For example, earlier we got one for shields. The Drifter doesn't have shields. But, the Drifter gets other benefits just from getting a boon. But boons really start going, the decrees really start going a little nutty once you get to the Warframe.
Yeah, and this right now we're in the space between space. We're about to enter something we call the Undercroft, which is where you'll recognize a lot of what we're about to do. Let's go. So these are Warframe combat arenas. These are spaces where you have to do objectives in the Undercroft to keep Duviri essentially safe from Thrax's control.
Yeah, this is the more traditional flavor of Warframe, if you will. It's essentially the game modes that you know. In this case, we're playing 5-minute survival. in this new tileset, and you're basically going in and out from the open world in Duviri into this, all your boon supply, and then out. And earlier when you were talking about the circuit is essentially a sequence of these ones. So instead of playing survival, it'll be 5 minutes of survival, and once that's done, you'll go into like defense.
5 ways of
and
defense.
then you'll go into a void flood, and it will kind of cycle through those, and you'll keep on getting decrease, and you'll keep on getting nuttier and nuttier.
Yeah. We're gonna, because we want to get through this without keeping people here too overtime, we're just gonna push the survival along just so people can get a feel for the rest of Duviri, and then we can.
You guys know survival.
You guys know survival.
Been there, come on, done that.
Been there, survived that.
That's a t-shirt if I ever heard.
The other differences, and we're not really showing it here, but there are new enemies in here that are from the stuff that you've seen in Duviri itself.
Yes.
So you'll have new things to encounter as your Warframe.
And then once you're back out, you'll get another boon, and we'll make our way to the finale of the day so that we can finish our joy spiral, finish the spiral, and then be sort of on our way for all things, Duviri. And here we are looking out upon the joy spiral, the Duviri paradox. And of course, as you progress, one of the persistent progressions will be bursts of the drifter getting strong enough connecting to the other side that you can actually bring your Warframe onto Duviri with you. So these are going to be tactical, bite-sized bursts where, say, you come across one of those big heavy enemies and you've done just enough damage that you can actually summon your Warframe to you. So it's going to be something you can play towards, start strategically bringing your Warframe to Duviri, and that'll be the Duviri paradox in a nutshell.
A
So,
little slice of the Duviri paradox.
but wait, there's more.
Oh, wait, there's always more. There's always more.
There's always more. So that is a look at all things Duviri. We've got the new open world. We have a new gameplay layer.
More like a look at some things Duviri.
Yeah.
a snippet. This is a snippet
snippet.
of Duviri. But you did touch on conservation.
Yes.
And we do have new animals within Duviri. I believe themselves are, they're a bit influenced by the void being in Duviri.
Yes.
And the objective of conservation is to kind of cleanse them of that void, bring them back. But I think one of the most important things that we've done in the Duviri paradox is bring that very, human element to these animals. We're going to play you a little clip of what exactly one can do with conservation.
Yeah.
Good
so you
boy.
can come across these
Yeah.
void
Who's a good
tainted
boy?
animals, and they'll perhaps lead you to treasure if you cleanse them.
You can pet the dog.
You could. Yeah. There you
You
go.
can pet the dog.
Yeah. All right. So lots
Good
to
boy.
play. The question, of course, is going to be what are you earning?